महादेव जल्दी से हमारी नौकरी लगवा दीजिए, हम अपना सर मुंडवा लें। नहीं सर मुंडवाएं तो सबको लगेगा कि पापा ही चले गए।
Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And we're watching Bhool Chuk Maaf. This is part 3, so if you haven't missed it, then welcome. But if you did miss it, then in the description you can find the playlist link where you can watch part 1 and part 2 and join us back here. And as a reminder, after this whole reaction part, we have a review, thoughts, opinions, ratings, that sort of thing. So if you're interested and you have the time, check it out. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, or like button pa tappar maro.
तो पापा जी,
Oh yeah.
यही समस्या है हमारी। महादेव जाने किसकी हाय लग गई है। 29 में अटक गए, 30 ही नहीं आ रही हमारी।
हैं? तो बड़ा उछल रहे थे। 30 ठीक है, 30 ठीक है। अब इनकी 30 ही ना आ रही है। इससे अच्छा तो हमारा बिजली विभाग वाला रिश्ता था। कम से कम 30 तो आती।
कोई भूल चुक हुई हो तो माफ करना।
आपने पापा को बताया हो
क्या?
इस बीमारी के बारे में?
कल 30 आ गई तो बारात ले आएंगे, और नहीं आई तो फिर
So it's all over again.
Okay, he tried very nice day. Now it's like time to just.
Now it's gonna be. Little drinky poo. Oh wow, that's a quick drinky poo. Oh. Two.
This guy's going down.
Oh no.
Like maybe if I get super drunk.
Two.
हमें माफ।
Oh my.
God, that gave me vertigo.
बहुत ऊपर है। हमारी 29 के चक्कर में तुम्हारी 30 नहीं खराब होने देंगे हम।
He's mad luck with it.
हे गंगा मैया, मुक्ति देना।
Hey, don't mess my moment up, dude.
सेल्फी लेने के लिए ज्यादा रिस्क की जगह नहीं है। गिर जाओगे, हटो हटो।
Oh! Jump in after him. Jump in after him. That'll be your good deed.
Yeah, save him. Oh, but he probably broke a leg or something.
अबे डूब रहे हो कि तैर रहे हो? महादेव।
That's so high.
Cross your legs.
Yeah.
अरे ऐसा उंगली डाल के निकालो, सब बाहर निकल जाएगा।
Wasn't that a good swim? I think I should do this more often.
ठीक है। सारी दारू भी निकलवा दे। ठीक हो?
He killed his boss.
लो।
वो लोग तो सब गांव में हैं।
अरे तुम मर जाते तो उनका क्या होता? सोचे नहीं? क्या समस्या है?
वही जो आधा देश का है।
अच्छा, दिल जले हो।
सरकारी नौकरी।
है साला ये सरकारी नौकरी का टंटा ना। समझते हम।
So, yeah, I get that too.
एक बात बताओ, तुम्हारा नौकरी लग गया तो तुम जान नहीं दोगे?
भाई जब नौकरी लग गया तो जान काहे देंगे?
अरे गुरु, अरे तुम ही हो हमारे निस्वार्थ नेक कार्य। तू तो अपनी जान पे खिल के लगवाएगा ये रंजन तिवारी। देखो तो, अब से अंसारी तिवारी भाई भाई।
मुंशी, 2 चाय। क्या बकाया पैसा देने आए हो?
गुरुजी पैसा बस वो 2-4 दिन और हो जाएगा।
मुंशी, चाय कैंसिल। नहीं क्या बताओ कैसे आना हुआ?
जी ये हमारा मित्र है हामिद,
नमस्ते।
इसकी नौकरी के सिलसिले में आपसे बात करनी थी।
हाँ हाँ लग जाएगी, बता दो कैसे।
He's the job guru. That's funny.
बात कान खोल के सुन लीजिए। अव्वल तो हमारे पास पैसा है नहीं और पैसा देके नौकरी चाहिए भी नहीं।
बाप रे बाप, कहाँ से उखाड़ के लाए क्रांतिकारी को।
He wants it the honest way.
मुझे अच्छा लड़का है, कुछ जुगाड़ करा दीजिए।
एक ही जुगाड़ है,
बताइए।
तुम अपनी नौकरी छोड़ दो तो इसकी नौकरी अपने आप ही लग जाए।
Oh.
अबे ये वही 15वां कैंडिडेट है जिसका नाम हटा के तुम्हारा नाम चढ़वाए, हामिद अंसारी।
Oh no! This is like Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He took. Oh, you see that little like hiccup thing he does
Yeah.
whenever he has a realization?
अरे रोज रोज
ये सब बकैती सुनने आए हम अपनी मेहंदी छोड़ के।
वो मेहंदी है, ऐसा कौन सा टट्टी करी थी जो आधे में छोड़ के आ गई।
छी। और तुम अभी पति बने नहीं हो तो ये पति वाला एटीट्यूड मत दिखाओ हमें।
हम एटीट्यूड दिखा रहे।
हाँ।
अरे तुम जो मेहंदी 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 थी मेहंदी।
अगर तुम्हारी नौकरी नहीं लगी ना तो तुम्हारी शादी भी नहीं होगी, और तुम्हारी शादी नहीं होगी तो तुम दुख के मारे अपनी जान दे दोगे, और अगर तुमने जान दी तो उस हामिद को हम खोज के मार डालेंगे।
Oh man, this is one of these great moral dilemmas where you can argue it from any aspect and it seems the right thing to do.
सुनो गुरु, हमारे साथ चलो, हमने तुम्हारे लिए सरप्राइज बैचलर पार्टी का इंतजाम किए। अरे मामा,
सरप्राइज।
अरे सुनो तो, हमें तो ले चलो यार।
It's like surprise. Have you been listening to me?
It's no surprise.
नीति को बदलने चले हो, जबकि कल वो फिर मर जाएगा।
अल्लाह। तो डांट खाओगी, हमें भी डांट खिलवाना पापा से। अरे दीदी तुम आगे बढ़ाओ, हम उड़ा दे क्या?
Make it fly. Oh.
He's gonna get really good at jumping off bridges.
The tragedy every single day. I'm not wearing any.
ए भाई, तू हमको बचाए क्यों?
मंडी की जरूरत ना है, पैसे वैसे की दिक्कत है तो घबराओ नहीं, ऐसा 5-10 लाख का जुगाड़ तो यूं कर देगी तितली।
हम नहीं बेचेंगे अपनी माँ का हार फिर से।
भिखारी नहीं है अब, मानना तो साले। हम बोले थे आके बचाएंगे, हम बचाएगा तो कहा।
Yeah, and if you don't explain to him every single day, he's just gonna be like, "Who the heck are you?"
भाई हमें तुम्हारे मदद की कोई जरूरत ना है।
And next day.
They're always just barely shy.
You would think that he'd get his timing a little bit better.
हमें तुम्हारे मदद की कोई जरूरत ना है।
हम इंटरनेशनल नौकरी लगवाते हैं, दुबई जाओगे दुबई।
हमें तुम्हारी मदद की कोई जरूरत ना है।
Oh, it's getting worse and worse. He's stopped.
तुम्हारे पास नौकरी नहीं है इसलिए तुम्हारी शादी नहीं हो रही। भैया हम तुम्हारे लिए लड़की ढूंढ देंगे, तुम मारो मत।
That didn't work for you.
अब ब्याह भी करा दूं हमारा इनसे।
हमें तुम्हारे मदद की कोई जरूरत ना है।
अरे अंग्रेजन ले आएंगे।
हमने लिए तो ना खोजी आज तक।
Oh, it's because he's the only one that has all the info. It gets harder and harder.
But also, he's he's trying to do everything except give his job.
Right.
So you want to do something completely selfless. That's what you do.
Yeah.
मेहरबान।
They're trying to kidnap him now.
पढ़े लिखे हो, समझदार लगते हो, कोई और नौकरी कर लो। इतने सारे विभाग हैं, कहीं भी अप्लाई कर दो। इसी नौकरी के पीछे क्यों पड़े हो हाथ धोके?
Try to understand a little bit and maybe you know.
I'm an angel.
पिछले 10 साल से ना हमारे गांव में पानी का समस्या चल रहा है।
Oh wow.
गांव वालों के सामने कसम खा के निकले थे, हम पढ़ लिख कर सिंचाई विभाग में नौकरी हासिल करेंगे, गांव की समस्या का समाधान करेंगे।
That's an awfully big guarantee that he's giving them.
पूरा गांव में रिजल्ट आने का पहले ही ना सबको मिठाई बांट दी, सोच के कि हो जाएगा हमारा। भैया हमारा नाम भी नहीं है, अब क्या करें बताओ?
You can't take his job now. You gotta.
Yeah. It's way bigger than just him, and it's way bigger than you and you're wanting to get married and.
Well, what it does is puts your own problems into perspective.
Yeah.
और शादी है और आज कह रहे हो कि नौकरी छोड़ दोगे?
This would have to be so hard. You got to give her an out.
He's been trying everything. So.
तुम्हें हमारा कोई ख्याल नहीं आया, हाँ? उस आदमी के पीछे पड़ो जिसे तुम जानते भी नहीं हो, रंजन.
Yeah, but
being stuck on the same day, he actually matured quite a bit.
Yeah.
But she's still a little stuck.
लेकिन अगर इस तारीख को हमारी शादी नहीं हुई ना, रंजन.
दीदी क्या करें? छोड़ो.
Well, you could give him the job after you're married.
हामिद कहाँ है?
वो तो चला गया.
मैं जाने का दिया.
अरे उसे अपना काम था, रात को अपना काम है अपन को. अरे.
Too late.
No, maybe the discussion changed him.
Nope.
Oh.
What if he promised with his job he would do it for him?
किस दुविधा में लाके खड़े करती हो हमारा जीवन? एक तरफ तितली है, एक तरफ हामिद है. और हमें इस मुसीबत से निकाल दीजिए माँ. हलन महादेव पंडित जी.
1,000 rupees this time.
जीवन ऐसे दोराहे पे आगे अटक गया पंडित जी. बहुत फंसा हुआ सा लग रहा है पंडित जी.
जीवन में जब दो रास्ते पे खड़े होते हैं ना, तो एक चुनना बड़ा कठिन होता है. एक वाक्य में निष्कर्ष है, अगर समझना चाहो तो कर्म करो, फल की चिंता मत करो.
That was the big issue from the very beginning.
हो सकता है महादेव तुम्हारी परीक्षा ले रहे हैं.
Think he did it? Gave his job?
Yeah, different color shirt. And there's more boxes in the room. But he's now afraid of how it's now gonna play forward.
At least he didn't do anything too crazy that day. That version.
अखाड़े जाने छोड़ दिया क्या? ये देखो निकल आया है. अरे हमारा छेड़ो अपना नहीं.
एक मिनट जरूरी बात करनी है.
अरे बेटा डर काहे रहे हो? तुमसे ज्यादा बुरी हालत थी हमारी जब हमारी शादी हुई थी. अरे बेटा वो सब समझ रहे हैं, तुम नहीं समझ रहे हो. ऐसी बातें बाप से नहीं दोस्तों से पूछनी चाहिए. बहुत सही मौसा जी.
Gonna share wisdom, huh?
कल तुमको समझा रहे थे, तुम्हें समझ में नहीं आई हमारी बात.
गलत है मामा.
अरे कहाँ गलत है यार? कम से कम अपना नहीं तो तितली भाभी और घर वालों का सोच के चुप हो जाओ भैया प्लीज.
The loop broke, so he must have been pretty serious about it. But is he going to be honest with the family?
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd think that everyone around him would realize that something is wrong.
He's a little too stoic and not. I mean, even the most grooms are, even though they're nervous, they're at least a little into it all. Chill.
He feels so guilty.
Yeah.
नाचना है. बजा.
Oh, he's scaring everyone.
He's gonna have a meltdown and they're gonna go, not gonna happen. He's gonna come clean and tell the truth.
हम शादी नहीं कर सकते.
Drop that bomb.
अरे मर गया पापा.
पापा क्या हुआ?
क्या हुआ? पूछो इनसे क्या हुआ?
नौकरी छोड़ आया ये. किसी हमीद अंसारी को दे दी.
हाँ?
कि हामिद असली हकदार है उस नौकरी.
कौन हामिद? जाओ जाके नौकरी लेके आओ वापस.
कि नहीं ला सकते हम वापस.
I'm just curious to find out what his father-in-law says.
माँ का हार तक गिरवी रखा है ताकि तुम्हारी वो नौकरी लग सके, हमारी शादी हो सके. तुम वो नौकरी छोड़ा है.
If he could explain, it was a dude's life.
ये तो तुम्हें नहीं भी करनी थी ना. पहले ही बता दिया होता ना. सबके सामने ये ड्रामा तो ना करते हमारे लिए.
It's true. He kind of waited till the last moment.
But he didn't find out until.
No, I just mean to the procession. He could have done it well before.
ठीक नहीं किया हो तुम तितली के साथ.
कितनी मेहनत से लगाए थे हमें सरकारी नौकरी. पता नहीं किसे दे आए.
Not a single person's on his side.
क्या जरूरत थी? कोई मर रहा है तो मरने दो. तुम तो ब्याह कर लेते.
हम किसी की आरती के ऊपर अपना बयान नहीं कर सकते.
That's pretty stark way to put it, but yeah.
कोई खुद भूखा रह के दूसरे का पेट कैसे भर सकता है?
ये समझाओ।
हजारों नौकरियां जुगाड़ से लगती हैं रोज।
और क्या?
This actually is becoming now a social thing.
कि सरकारी नौकरी सिर्फ अपने फ्यूचर के लिए करता है इंसान, दूसरों के लिए नहीं। माना कि इस देश में भगत सिंह की जरूरत है, तो क्या हम अपने इकलौते बेटे को भेज दें? जा बेटा, शहीद हो जा देश के लिए, समाज के लिए। और कौन से समाज के लिए? इस समाज के लिए, इस समाज के लिए जहां हर इंसान सिर्फ अपने बारे में सोचता है।
This started off with all of them thinking like, yeah, he's totally getting it, but then they're like, oh wait, we sound horrible.
उनने एक हामिद को नहीं बचाया, बल्कि उस इंसानियत को बचाया है जो डूबने के कागार पे थी।
You think he's Bhagwan? Like real Bhagwan? And he was testing him the whole time?
कि अच्छा करिए मत करिए, लेकिन जो लोग कर रहे हैं उसको तो सहयोग दीजिए।
Yeah, wait though.
देखो बेटा, जीवन साथी तो बहुत से मिल जाएंगे, लेकिन सच्चा जीवन साथी बहुत मुश्किल से मिलता है।
Someone say something.
Yeah.
Sasur?
चलते हैं। अरे ऐसे कैसे? ये जो शादी पे इतना खर्चा हो गया उसका क्या?
Oh, dude, you're all about the money.
शादी तो करनी पड़ेगी।
आज तुम पीछे हट गए तो कसम से तुम्हारी हड्डियां गंगा जी में बहाते।
He was gonna get him either way.
Yeah, after all, I mean, the job was just like a benchmark his father-in-law wanted him to get to.
I guess.
So, well, yeah, and it's like, for him to say he's doing all this so a man would die? Well, I liked it. It was pretty good, and especially the theme there at the end. Like, it had a really good message.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think because there's like this genre of movies already, you kind of have an idea where it's gonna go. But how many of us have been in that position before that we've pledged something and say, if this happens, I'm gonna stop doing this for X amount of days or something. And then it actually does happen, but it's like, well, do I really have to?
I really,
you know,
yeah.
I think we all have, at least everyone I don't know, would have some sort of experience with that, right? And then you start thinking, well, I'm just gonna do something real quick and get it out of the way. I said I would do something nice, but, you know, like make it really easy, you know, or make it something that has no consequence to myself.
Well, or
right?
any self-sacrifice, because that's really what it boils down to, is that you need to be able to step out of your individual needs and expectations and wants and desires and do it unconditionally. And I think that's and realize the consequences as well. So again, it's this whole ripple thing. You know, you do one thing and it can cause a chain reaction. You just never know how it could be. And I think that was the one thing that I liked, was that he thought that there was no chain reaction to getting the job.
Right, yeah.
You know,
I mean, obviously you're taking it from someone. Like, there was names on the list and he's like, yeah, like I could swap your name in there, but swap is a swap. Like, someone's getting cut.
Yep.
You know, this had a lot of the same sort of sentiments as like Dragon did,
Yep.
but Dragon didn't even think twice. I mean, when he saw exactly how far it went, like immediately he was just like, nope, I gotta give it up, all that sort of stuff. And it also cost to him, like his job, his dream job and all that. And he went down to being a food delivery person, but you know, he was a lot happier that way. And that's the thing, is once you start realizing if you're taking shortcuts and doing it the wrong way and who you're hurting along the way, can you ever really be happy with what you achieve with deceit and lies and all that sort of stuff? So doing it the, you know, proper way, although it does suck, is when you're trying to do it the proper way and you see other people taking the shortcuts and you're like, oh man, like it's hard to see, but you don't know what's going on in their life. They could be completely unhappy at home and be alcoholics or something.
Exactly.
So,
well, and that's exactly what it is we really don't know what's going on with everyone else around us. And so it's best to lead and to be authentic in what you're doing. Be upfront with others. Try not to, be selfish or gluttonous or, manipulative in any way, shape, or form. And, it's really interesting, some of the stages he went through, like when he became very, very, appreciative and apologetic to everybody, sometimes people don't realize that even a simple apology could have triggered something that he just never ever knew about. And so again, it's that whole thing of we're all interconnected. We need to tread lightly and always go with an open heart and best intentions. And if you do that, then in general things work out. But it just yeah, and I'm glad to see that this ended very positively, that it got very serious, with, again, the kind of the threw it out on everybody's lap, hey, you should be looking at yourself, if you were in the situation, what would you be doing? And I'm sure there are plenty of people there that would say, take the job,
Well, everyone was there. That's what I thought was a little surprising, is because I thought that everyone was going to initially be really mad at him and all that. But then once he explained, like, okay, well, a guy, this is what it meant for his village and getting that job and all that sort of stuff, and this is why he did it. Then I thought everyone around there was going to be like, oh, yeah, dude, like, well done, you're such a good guy. But it took, like, someone pointing out what they were all being super selfish and all that sort of stuff for, which I liked that. I liked that it was like he felt super alone and isolated, and it's like, but I did the right thing, but man, this feels really hard and scary and all that. And then it took someone, the person came in and started explaining to all of it. And I really liked that, because that character, Bhagwandas, was like real Bhagwan, because people come to him and for exchange of like, I'm going to pledge this amount of money for this job, right? And so he's taking everybody's, like, giving them a little bit, but then he's not going to deliver until they deliver the rest or something like that, up front. And for him, it was like a test this whole time. So instead of going to like the shivling and stuff like that, and going through that route into Bhagwandas, and I really like that parallel. And then at the end, it was him coming and pointing out everyone else. And he was making all those statements as if he was God or something. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you are. And then I was expecting him to like walk by like a pillar, and then he disappears on the other side of the pillar. And I was like, ooh, we know exactly who was pulling the string, and he was watching all along. So
well, and I think that even in doing that, it's a representation of how we behave right now. Is oftentimes we think of things much further away from us than they truly are, in terms of, oh, well, there's people over there that are starving or drought or whatever. And that's too far away for us to really connect to it. But when he was saying more things closer to them, more specific to them, it makes people realize it. And for him, him taking this job and him fully understanding that he was going to die, and his dying was going to impact just so many more people than just him alone dying. That's how close it was to him. Okay, if it was someone dying clear across on the other side of the world, he may not have felt that as much. I'm just saying that in a general sense, in that people might not feel that intensity. And
true. You put a face. Like when you put a face, and then also like he's talked to him in person. Yeah,
exactly.
Like there's a human connection there.
Right.
But then if you just hear of somebody, then, definitely. But if you were told that your actions killed somebody, even if it was on the other side of the world.
Some people would be less impacted by that than others.
I guess, but I don't know if I could save. And if I heard his story,
well, if you heard his story and you heard him telling it in the way that he told it, you might. Well,
no, not even in the way. If I heard that story just like by reading it in a letter or something like that, I mean, I would be like, holy cow, this guy. I mean, I'd be a little suspicious. Why is he dying over a job that he didn't get or something? Right. But then, once I looked into it, I'd be like, oh yeah, oh man, that is that's pretty heavy. Yeah, but. Yeah. No, I liked it overall, but what would you rate it?
I'm going to give this an 8. It was a really good story. I liked it a lot. And I liked that it kept doing the way that it did it. There was not so much focus on the repeating and some of the ridiculous. There was initially some of the ridiculousness of how he's trying to process that he's doing that, but they quickly got past that and then just used that as the vehicle. True. You know, we saw the groundhog thing, you know, in many movies and where they're looping around and they kind of get into the craziness of it and so forth, and it becomes all about that thing.
Right.
And not
it's
so
like
much
gag over gag, and then it's like someone becoming like a fortune teller or something like that.
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh no, to do that. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And you're right. They really didn't. They didn't go too heavy into that, which was a little surprising to me because like there were so many things just there waiting to be picked, but they didn't. And they spent more time thinking about all the things that he was trying to do to break the loop, but showing that, like, you know, what is this deed really? You know, if you're doing it expecting something in return. And that's from the very beginning. Anytime someone says a good deed, it's a common theme that it's like, well, a good deed is only a good deed if you do it without like a return on investment.
Yeah, it's like, is this transactional? I don't think
transactional. I mean, good deeds are generally not transactional because then they're beneficial, and you know, then it's just you're doing something for something, and it's like a job.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought the acting was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. It was interesting. It was a fun ride, and I do appreciate all those things that you said about them not leaning too far into that gag, because it's no secret that this has been done before, like a Groundhog Day thing has been done before. So you got to go into the genre thinking to do something different. And that's what they did. Yep. And I thought it was a clever way to do it. And I really liked that tie-in with Bhagwandas at the very end. So that really gave me a lot to like about it. I wish maybe he would have been subtly like in other parts, like pulling strings, like if or maybe they didn't mean to make that connection, but they definitely did if they named him Bhagwandas.
Yeah, I think
they
did.
And then coming in at the end and saying all those things. But I think it would be really like maybe fun Easter eggs if like to watch it again and be like, oh, there he is, like he's saying this, or like give him lines throughout that's kind of like guiding him, but secretly like guiding him or something, right?
Well, or even if there had been elements of you caught him in some scene or something.
Yeah, or at the very end, we saw him talking to the pundit that was at the Mandir, right? Like them just chilling together or something like that.
Having a little
like,
chai.
Yeah, having some tea at the very end. I mean, that would be interesting because then it's like the pundit talking to, and I thought that something like that, you know?
Yeah.
You're getting all sick even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But that would have been a really cool detail to have.
Yeah.
And so that's why, I mean, a 7, because I thought it was, the writing was pretty good, but then, you know, I was like, maybe they could have like really leaned into some of these more symbolic sort of things and then made them pay off a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think that would have worked really nicely.
Yeah, but overall it was an entertaining story. I thought the editing was super clean and tight. There wasn't anything that I would like really think that they need to be quicker at. But yeah, great one-time watch, and I think that's what I've seen a lot of people saying is like one-time watch. But what would get that more watchability is if they made some of those like little Bhagwandas like things throughout, and then if you caught maybe 1 or 2, you're like, I wonder if I missed any, and then that would give more rewatchability.
Make people want to watch it.
To find more about that symbolism.
That would be a lot of fun.
But you know, as it is, I'd have to agree with a lot of people that it was just kind of like a one-time watch, but it was interesting to see and watch. So thank you so much for following along with us, and let us know in the comments, what did you think? Did we miss some symbolism? I'm sure we did. We are not up to snuff on weddings and ceremonies and all that sort of stuff, so I wonder how much like just went over our head with that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say, what you're gonna rate it, and if you haven't yet, then please consider subscribing, sharing, or like button पर थप्पड़ मारो.